Hey everyone, so if your medical practice runs on eClinicalWorks, you already know that managing your revenue cycle is, well, it's a huge deal. Today we're going to look at a totally new and flexible approach from a company called Revele. And that's pronounced Revele, like revenue plus the letter L. They're really trying to change the game for how ECW practices handle their finances, and we're about to see exactly how.
So let me just ask you this straight up. Does your current RCM service feel like it was designed for some other clinic? You know, it seems like so many practices get stuck in these rigid, all-or-nothing deals that just don't match what they actually need. It's the classic one-size-fits-none problem, right?
And this is all happening when the pressure is already through the roof. I mean, you've got reimbursement shrinking, claim denial rates that are just climbing and climbing, and this mountain of administrative work that can feel totally overwhelming. It's like a perfect storm, and having a rigid RCM partner is the absolute last thing you need.
But what if there is a different way? An approach built from the ground up specifically for practices in eClinicalWorks community. One that understands the platform not just as a tool, but as a core asset. Well, this is where the conversation shifts from just managing your billing to actually maximizing your revenue potential.
So this brings up a really important idea, being an ECW asset maximizer. What on earth does that mean? Well, for almost 20 years, Revele wasn't just another company. They were one of the biggest and most successful value-added resellers for eClinicalWorks. So we're not just talking about user-level knowledge here. This is a deep architectural understanding of how the whole system is built. They don't just use ECW, they know how to unlock its full power from the inside out.
And you know, this isn't just some clever marketing line. The CEO, Arun Morley, said it himself. This whole new model came directly from listening to what practices were telling them they needed. It's all about getting away from that old, rigid model and giving practices real choice and strategic flexibility. It's about being a partner, not just a vendor. Okay, so what does this flexibility look like in the real world? Let's break down the options, starting with core billing. Think of this as your rock-solid foundation. This is perfect for practices that just need to get the day-to-day grind of claims and patient billing off their plate. You know, so your staff can finally focus on patients while you get your cash flow moving faster. Now, for those of you who want to take things to the next level, there's the Elite RCM and Insights tier. This is the whole shebang. It goes way beyond just managing your billing. It's a full-on strategic partnership. We're talking deep analytics, preventing denials before they even happen, and getting real business intelligence that helps you grow.
And then there's the one that might just be the most exciting, Hybrid RCM. This is basically an a la carte menu for your revenue cycle. You get to pick and choose exactly which services you need to fill in the gaps for your own team. Maybe you just need help with AR follow-up, or maybe it's denial management. This lets you build a solution that is a perfect fit.
Okay, but let's talk results. Does all this flexibility actually work? Well, the numbers really do speak for themselves. First up, speed. Practices saw a 21.53% boost in their average monthly collections. And get this, it happened within the first 90 days. That is a huge, immediate impact. But it doesn't stop there. How about a 25.68% increase in the gross collection rate? To put it simply, that just means more of the money you've actually earned is making it into your bank account. It's not about billing more, it's about collecting more of what you're already owed.
And they saw the difference on a micro level too, an 18.75% rise in the average payment per claim. Think about that. Every single transaction, every claim becomes more valuable. That's what happens when you truly optimize your system. You're making more money without seeing a single extra patient. And here it is, the bottom line. It all adds up to an average increase in overall collections of 22%. And listen to this part. That was achieved without adding more patients or providers. This isn't about working harder. This is about working smarter inside the eClinicalWorks platform you already have.
And what's so important to understand is that these aren't just some flash-in-the-pan results. We're talking about sustained wins, continuing at 180 days and way beyond. And that, right there, is the difference between a quick fix and a true, long-term strategic partnership.
So this all brings the question back to you and your practice. When you look at these options, the solid foundation of core, the deep partnership of elite, or that incredible flexibility of hybrid, it really makes you think, doesn't it? Which of these RCM levels truly fits where your practice is today, and more importantly, where you want to take it tomorrow? In the end, the big takeaway here is pretty clear.
You no longer have to choose between a service that's powerful but totally rigid, or one that's flexible but just doesn't deliver. The goal is to find that sweet spot, that place where flexibility meets proven performance, all powered by the eClinicalWorks system you already know and trust. It's really about simplifying the business of medicine, so you can focus on what really matters, practicing medicine.